Bill Clinton is at it again. At a recent campaign event, he condescendingly suggested that Bernie Sanders supporters are so extreme that they actually want violence against Wall Street executives. Take a look.
I think it's fine that all these young students have been so enthusiastic for her opponent and sound so good. Just shoot every third person on Wall Street and everything will be fine. Just shoot every third person on Wall Street and everything will be fine.
So this is an obvious attempt to demonize Bernie Sanders supporters, and this has been a go-to tactic for Bill Clinton in this campaign to discredit Bernie Sanders. He tries to paint the picture that Bernie Sanders is an illegitimate candidate because his supporters are crazy and unrealistic, and he has a bunch of Looney Tunes following him. Particularly, he does this to young people. So he's claimed that Bernie Sanders supporters are sexist, they're unrealistic, and he even compared them to members of the Tea Party at one point, suggesting that they're just all extremists. But in actuality, we're not the extremists, Bill. This is the definition of a straw man argument, and it's not a very smart case to make if you expect to ask for our votes come November. It's just not. You don't continue to demonize supporters of a candidate over and over and still expect to unite the party come November. It's just not a smart strategy, and I don't know what you think you're doing or are going to accomplish with this. I'm one of Bernie Sanders' younger supporters who Bill Clinton thinks is crazy and extremist, apparently, and I've spoken to hundreds of Bernie Sanders supporters, and I think that I can't speak for everyone, but I can speak for certainly a large number of us and tell you exactly what we want. We don't want any Wall Street executives to be killed. We don't want violence. We would never advocate for that. What we want is for them to go to jail and be prosecuted for their wrongdoings. That's not unreasonable. I think that's the go-to reasonable position, and if you don't agree with that, then you're the extremist. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, it's actually us who are the ones against the death penalty. Last time I checked, you and Hillary are in favor of the death penalty.
What you went through and how terrible those days and nights must have been for all those years. And I know that all of us are so regretful that you or any person has to go through what you did. And I hope that now that you are standing here before us, that you will have whatever path in life you choose.
So to suggest that we're the ones who want violence, it's egregious. It's absolutely absurd. Now, seeing that Bill Clinton committed voter fraud in Massachusetts and lied under oath, he thinks that the rich and the powerful shouldn't be punished for their wrongdoings. But all we're asking is for the US government to hold these criminals accountable for their wrongdoings when they commit fraud, when they crash the economy. Why is that so extreme? It doesn't make sense to me. Only someone who's unreasonable and out of touch would suggest that to want to jail these criminals is absurd. That's not the case, Bill. You're the one who is the extremist in this scenario. I hate to break it to you, but it's true. And see, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, they don't want to jail these criminals. In fact, Hillary Clinton is friends with them. She took $225,000 from them to give one paid speech, and they liked it so much, they had her back twice, 3 times. So of course you don't think that these people who are guilty of fraud and criminal activity, who crash the economy, should go to jail. And I find that absolutely unforgivable. But the thing that is even worse is that you take it a step further. You suggest that we're so disenfranchised, so peeved about their actions that we would actually suggest killing them. No, we are never in favor of violence as progressives. You're the ones in favor of violence because you support the death penalty. See, as progressives, we don't want blood. We want justice. That's the reasonable position, and to disagree with that shows that you're the extremist, Bill.